Hi, welcome to OPMDtalks. My name is Major Bethany Wagner, and I've assembled a panel today to talk to you about the Married Army Couples Program, also known as MACP, and the Exceptional Family Member Program, known as EFMP, as it pertains to enlisted and officer assignments within the active component. But first, before we get through, let's introduce our panel member, starting with Major Lauren Peterson.
Hi, thanks Beth. I'm Major Lauren Peterson. I've been at HRC for 2 years. I'm an AG officer. I'm enrolled in MACP, and I have been an account manager, the chief of the AIM integration team, and I currently work as the chief of Officer Accessions Branch.
And I'm Rob Knight. I work in the Exceptional Family Member Program office for the Special Actions Branch in the Enlisted Personnel Management Directorate. I've been at HRC for 8 years. I was an assignment manager and I was a security NCO, and my office coordinates assignments for the Exceptional Family Member Program.
I'm Major Bethany Wagner. I'm a Medical Service Corps officer. I work within the Health Services Division within Officer Personnel Management. I am an Operations and Plans officer, and I was previously a career manager within my first 2 years. So today we're going to talk about 3 things, and first is going to be myths, followed by some policy and procedures, and then finally we're going to offer up some strategies on how family members and officers and soldiers who are enrolled in these categories can navigate their marketplace. When it comes to MACP and EFMP, there's this general idea and belief that they receive preferential treatment, that by being enrolled within these categories, they're going to receive their #1 choice, and by doing so, that is going to knock someone out of receiving their preference choice. And that's just simply not true. Lauren, can you offer us some examples, or some statistics as to why that's not true?
Yes, so beginning with the assignments that are available in your talent marketplace, those are determined based on the active component manning guidance. And then one myth is that EFMP and MACP are slated to jobs earlier in the talent marketplace, and that's simply not true. EFMP and MACP officers participate in the market just like every other officer. It's important that they preference deeply so that when we run the Army Talent Alignment Algorithm, or the ATAL, after the talent marketplace closes, hopefully we can go ahead and align EFMP and MACP to one of their top choices. However, we do have to run the EFMP checks and the MACP checks. It's a common belief that EFMP and MACP are a huge disruptor to the slating process. Actually, that's not true. EFMP and MACP typically only account for maybe 3 to 5% of any of the changes that we need to make to the slate.
So like anything, there is regulatory guidance and there's a way to execute these particular assignments. As mentioned earlier, EFMP and MACP are an assignment consideration only, and that means that the career managers and the talent managers work with each other or with the respective offices to make sure that an assignment fits the needs of the service member going through the market, whether that means an EFMP check and clearance or a joint domicile coordination with another career or talent manager. Well, let's jump into EFMP. What are some policies that our audience should be aware of?
Soldiers should be aware of Army Regulation 608-75, which is the Exceptional Family Member Program. They should be aware of Army Regulation 614-100, which is officer assignments, AR 614-200, which is enlisted assignments, and AR 55-46, which is overseas travel, and AR 614-30, which is overseas assignments. So my office receives screening requests from the talent managers and assignment managers, and we coordinate with MedCom to have the location screened for the availability of services, and then we provide that response back to assignment managers before assignments are finalized. So the process is designed so that a soldier will never be placed on an assignment to a location that does not have services intentionally.
Great, thank you. And how about MACP? What are some policy overviews that we should be aware of?
So first of all, we can't execute MACP unless you are enrolled. So please make sure that as soon as you're married, you go see your Unit S1. They'll have a 4187 template for you. Fill that out and make sure you have a copy of your marriage license and turn that in so you can get enrolled. One of the other important things to consider is that it's an assignment consideration, and so we do our best to ensure that we can have joint domicile for our MACP officers. And joint domicile technically means within a 50-mile radius or 1 hour driving distance if we can't get you on the same installation as your spouse. So as far as marketplace TTPs, before the talent marketplace even opens, I would recommend that you sit down with your spouse and you at least put together a 5-year plan. So look at your career timelines and see when you have promotion boards coming up, when you might need to attend an education course, and then try to align your career paths, understanding that sometimes you might need to go to a location that meets your spouse's career needs, and maybe the next time you go to a location that meets your career needs. So once you have a 5-year plan together and you have some idea of what kind of jobs or locations that you'd like to go to in the future, make sure you reach out to your career manager when you're going into the talent marketplace so they know that your intent is to seek joint domicile or use your MACP. And so once the talent marketplace opens, I highly recommend that spouses make sure they're on the same page, and then you can both log into AIM and look at your talent marketplaces and begin to compare jobs and locations. And then when it comes to final preferencing, just make sure that your preferences align as closely as they possibly can.
And it's not uncommon for officers and enlisted to be married as well. So it's important to remember that if you are a couple of that nature, that the cycles don't run the same. And so it's imperative that both couples reach out to their career or talent manager to not only communicate their desire to seek a joint domicile assignment, but also discuss options that you want to see so that way the two career managers and talent managers can speak in advance of your market. Again, that's just doing the coordination in advance. Right? When it comes to EFMP, though, there's probably a lot of TTPs that one needs to be aware of, or at least have an idea. Can you offer some of those for us?
Yes, so soldiers should, that are currently enrolled should definitely ensure that their enrollment is up to date prior to the market opening. We encourage soldiers that are close to the expiration date to update their enrollment at least 6 months prior to the expiration, and definitely not less than 3 months prior to the expiration. And for soldiers who are about to enter a market, they can reach out to their servicing MTF EFMP office and request to update their enrollment prior to the market, even if they're not within 6 months. Generally, MedCom will assist us to get your enrollment updated. The soldiers should also, if they have a life-changing event, such as a divorce, should disenroll, or if their family member no longer required services, they should disenroll prior to the market opening, and they should notify their talent manager or assignment manager that they're disenrolling. Additionally, every soldier really should know what warrants enrollment in EFMP, and you can find what warrants enrollment in the back of AR 608-75, and they should ask themselves those questions prior to the market opening, and really just generally to ensure that if they need to enroll, they enroll, and they can advise the assignment process, so the assignment process is not delayed.
So you said self-assessment, and I think that that's really great. One of the things that a service member can do is they can utilize 3 different resources out there to check if services are available. So that's Military OneSource, TRICARE Online,
and also the ACS Family Support is available. Soldiers should reach out to those organizations when they're looking to look for the availability of services at prospective assignment locations prior to even the market opening or when the market is open. And once they're on assignment, they can reach out to the prospective assignment location MTF EFMP office to actually coordinate services.
but that's only after they've been on assignment.
Right,
so
after,
it's not advised that those enrolled in EFMP reach out to the prospective gaining MTF, because that is going to delay the process, not just for you, but for all others as well. And when it comes to EFMP, we want to make sure that our population understands that just because you're enrolled in EFMP doesn't mean that you're going to be receiving a choice assignment to that location, even if services are or are not available. So that's a common misunderstanding, that just because I'm enrolled, that then I have to go to my number one. With that being said, for both categories, it's advised that they preference deeply, right? Because we want to make sure that if a service is not available or a joint domicile assignment is not available, that we can reach in and take a look at your preferences and still honor something that you've done within the assignment process. So preferencing deep is advisable. So we hope that today offers you an idea of debunking some of our myths, understanding there's not one strategy that works across the board, but rather you can mix and match depending on your particular category. And we hope that today you'll feel more comfortable going into your marketplace as an enrollee in one of these assignment considerations. HRC is here to answer questions as you need. And you can only reach out to your career and talent managers, but you can also utilize the resources within the HRC website. Thank you, panel.